prosper. You would never again kneel before doubt. You would never again beg the world to give you what heaven already placed within your grasp. The Ethiopian Bible does not flatter the powerful. It exalts the individual. It speaks of divine law not as a mystery to be obeyed, but as a science to be practiced. It teaches that faith is not submission. It is control. That prayer is not pleading. It is mental direction. That sin is not moral failure. It is ignorance of one's own creative power. Now, do you see why the rulers feared it? A free man cannot be taxed by fear. A thinker cannot be enslaved by lies. A believer who knows his mind is the workshop of the infinite cannot be ruled by the threats of hell or the promise of heaven. He commands both. You have lived long enough in a world that told you to be humble, to be small, to wait for permission. You were taught to believe that holiness meant poverty, that devotion meant obedience, that suffering was sacred. But the truth is this: to think, to act, to decide, to create, these are the true acts of worship. The Ethiopian Bible preserves the message that every man carries within him the image of the Creator, and that to think in harmony with that image is to perform miracles. It is the same law I have taught for decades, that what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But the world would rather you forget. The world would rather you remain a drifter, bound by fear, confusion, and doubt, instead of standing upright in your divine inheritance. For if you remembered, if you truly awakened to this truth, their kingdoms would crumble overnight. Understand this clearly. Jesus did not teach followers. He built thinkers. He taught the science of faith, how to plant a thought, water it with belief, and watch it become flesh. He showed man that the word spoken with conviction is the law of life, that the man who controls his mind controls his destiny. The Ethiopian scriptures declare it plainly, that man is not punished for his sins, but by them, that heaven and hell are not places, but states of mind, that the kingdom is not found by searching the sky, but by mastering one's own thought. And these truths were too powerful to survive unguarded. So the world was given a half-truth, a gospel of fear instead of faith, a creed of submission instead of creation. The fire of the mind was buried beneath rituals, politics, and dogma until now. But the truth cannot die.